Hello and welcome. Welcome back to the Broncos Booze Up, where you hear this. Yes. Just tone that down. Welcome to the show, everybody. We didn't think we'd make it that far. But here we are, second round of the playoffs. The Broncos are about to meet their destiny, and we're here to recount it all. And I'm joined by my co-host, the Captain. Captain, how are you?
John, thank you again for just taking the bye week to an extra level and giving us an extra day to recap from our long Vegas trip. It was a phenomenal time. I'm sorry we didn't do what we said we were going to do for the 6,500 fans subscribed and do something while we were in Vegas, but we were very busy doing other things.
Yeah, it probably wasn't going to happen. There was just no, if you put a mic in front of me, I probably would have talked, but God knows if it would have been good or not. There was, it was pretty bang, bang, bang. And we just, we had other things to do. So, before I went, I got tons of sleep. I felt good while out there. I was able to stay awake, and then I've tried to get a bunch of sleep. When I got back, you will see I'm drinking green tea. I'm drinking a cup of green tea. Now, why I'm drinking green tea is I have to go play a hockey game in 2 hours. So I'm going to do this show, have some green tea, and then hopefully be awake enough to go play hockey at almost 10 o'clock at night.
For people over the age of 50, 10 o'clock, that is, that's a death sentence.
Trust me. Not only is it that time this week, it's that time next week. And the third week, it's a little bit later. So
are you in a mixed age bracket? Like, who's setting this time frame for you all?
Well, I think it depends on how many teams are in the league. You know, if you got a lot of teams, I mean, the first game's probably at 7, so you're running them for almost 4 hours probably. So mixed age, yes, there's a lot of people probably close to my age range in it.
It's not primarily in their 20s, though.
Huh?
Not primarily in their 20s.
No, nobody that young. The people that are that young are either like really bad in learning, or they're way too good and they're playing somewhere else. So there's
if it makes you feel any better, I'm going to carry the load tonight. I felt like Bo Nix is going to have his golden eye on winning the game against the Bills, and so I figured I would carry the tradition of sweet berry wine tonight.
That's excellent. I love it. So it's good stuff. We had a good time. We watched some football. There was the amazing Bears game. Did you finish the Bears game?
I did finish the Bears game, okay. And then quickly, since I had to leave at 4 a.m, went to bed at about 6:30 p.m. Unlike you, I was not playing sports or watching it.
You're definitely an early riser. I think you have to get up pretty early, so that is probably staying up till 12:30, 1 o'clock is certainly not advisable. It's not advisable for anyone in this age range, and I did it like 2 nights in a row, and I was pretty gassed. Let's just say the next day.
I don't even remember when I went to bed on Friday night. Did I make it to 12:30? Did I make it to 10 at least? 9 o'clock?
You might have made it to 10, yeah. But Vegas is simultaneously wonderful and wondrous, and it's also gross as hell. It's both those things all at once. Like, there's some things where you just go, oh, that's awesome. This is great. And other things you're like, God, what a fucking hellhole this is. Like, I was on the miniature golf course. Do you remember the miniature golf course that we went to? Well, you didn't go, but
I didn't go, but I do remember it.
You remember how we played miniature golf? Well, this is an awesome place. It's a Tiger Woods place. They bring you beers out on the course. You just have to hit it. You have to hit the app and on the website, and they just bring you a beer before you know it. And it's awesome. And there was some Eagles fans out there, and I started talking to them. And and the guy was like, "Oh, you got the week off, huh?" I think the Eagles were playing, or did the Eagles play? I don't know. The Eagles weren't out yet.
Yeah.
And so the guy's like, "Yeah, you got the week off." I said, "Yeah, man." And I said, "Look, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you, the fans. I want to thank the Eagles for defeating evil in the Super Bowl last year. It's awesome. We really appreciate." He's like, "Oh yeah, fuck those guys." And there was a kid in a Nikola Jokic shirt out there. I was like giving him a thumbs up. Another guy had a Broncos hat. He was with his daughter, and we're like, "What's up?" And we're like, "Isn't it great to be relaxed? Don't have to worry about a game." And everyone's like, "Yeah." So tons of folks out there. It's really nice because you talk to people that you never in a million years would ever talk to, and
Totally.
you're like, have something in common, football. And then there's the gross part. There's a lot of gross to it. Thankfully, like where we were, it's pretty nice, but just the smoking and just all of that just gets a little old after a while.
Well, I appreciate the cadre coming over to the Dirty Castle. Friday night I was the only lone soldier there. You guys put up with that while you were at Park, and then Colin came in quickly afterwards. But I will say, breakfast at Hard Rock Cafe was a shocker to me. Like, that was a good time.
It was a good time. There were some good times, wasn't there? There's usually a few good times to offset the bad.
Then you have a person who doesn't like, raw fish, and then somebody gets them a full plate of, delicious Japanese food, and now they love turnip cakes.
What are you going to do about that, huh? Shout out to Sam, our buddy, who's the assistant GM at the Rampart Casino out there. He took good care of us. It was awesome. We had a great time. About football, I was talking about that Bears game. I had all these bets tied into the Chicago Bears, covering like the 1.5, whatever it was. And I just had like a handful of garbage because they started out so bad. And I was like, this sucks. This is not going to go well. And, I always keep them at least till I know they're dead.
Right.
And then I kept them. And then sure enough, they came back, and I ended up winning a bunch of money. So it was great.
Hey, going out Vegas a winner is always better than losing $19.45 at the Wheel of Fortune at Rampart.
That's right. Or all that money you lost on the roulette thing when I was trying to show you. I don't know. You put in like hundreds of dollars, and I was trying to show you how to do it. I hope you don't remember that.
Red, black, what is it? I'm not going to lie. There were mornings that I woke up, like even before I left, I'm like, how much money did I spend last night? It's the surprise transactions that you're like, hey, what were you doing? What were you doing last night, Graham? Sober Graham doesn't like this.
Yeah, it's it can get dicey. Yes, for sure. Let's dive into it because we're gonna get this done. Your Denver Broncos. Now there's other games going on. The 49ers are at the Seahawks. Texans are at the Patriots, and the Rams are at the Bears, which all going to be great games. I'm totally into it, but we don't need to talk about that because we're only interested in one team. That's the Denver Broncos. This line has changed a bit. At one point, the Broncos were underdogs by like 1.5 points.
Has that changed?
It has changed. They're now 1 point favorite, and I'm showing over under a 46, which is pretty high, I think. So
yeah.
I'm trying to think. I bet this earlier, and I thought it was way lower, and I took the under on it because I think it's going to be a low scoring game. What's your initial reactions on this?
No, I think it is going to be a low scoring game. I mean, there's some interesting stats. I talked to our good friend on the internet. It was not Grok, so these stats were not undressed and naked. It was Gemini, so it's a little bit more palatable. But I will say, just if you want an interesting fact that the internet or AI came up with, there is a thing called the Sean Payton bald coach theory. Have you heard of this?
Bald coach?
Yes, bald, as in they have no hair like the captain.
Let me hear it.
Did you know that Sean Payton is 30-12 against coaches with no hair
in his career?
In his career. So he's got a 71.4 win rate percentage. Sean McDermott, famously bald. Science is on our side.
Wow.
So you take that into configuration. You look at the Buffalo Bills; they're banged up. The Broncos are much healthier than the Bills are. You take 5280 into consideration. Josh Allen likes to run. I don't know how well he's going to run at 5280. When I did the Boulder run, I threw up very quickly afterwards. So there's a lot of interesting theories and stats out there that I think lead towards Broncos victory. But I think most of all, to your point, earlier in the week when the Broncos were 1.5 underdogs and they were interviewing Broncos players in the pressers, it was like, really? Again, Vegas is disrespecting us. And you kind of want that attitude going into a game like this.
Well, sure. And I just where is it? I just rechecked it, and the spread's still the same, but the total went up to 46. So something changed, because I bet that this morning and it was like 40.5, and I took the under, which sucks because now they're expecting it to go over that. So that's when the line moves and it really screws you. So now it just jumps 6 points. Why are they thinking it jumped 6 points? What could possibly, other than they said Josh Allen was limited, but you know how that is. They're probably just giving him a rest. He's probably fine. I know he's kind of banged up, but there was nothing standing out that was a problem for him. What could have possibly happened that it moved 6 points like that from this morning?
I don't know. I mean, there's other interesting stats here. Bo Nix is tied for Russell Wilson with the most wins, in his first 2 seasons, 24, incredible number. But he's 0-1 in the playoffs, and the narrative always is like, oh, Josh Allen, he's clutch, but he only won his first playoff game last week in the fourth quarter, right? And Buffalo likes to rush. But if you look at Bo Nix's stats when he gets pressurized, his passer rating's like 112. So he's better under pressure.
Sure.
And so, I don't know. I think you look at the Denver Broncos, the turnover thing's a problem. Thankfully, in the last game, they had a few. The pick 6 by Dre Greenlaw was awesome. We didn't get a lot of that this season. They're -3 overall this year. So I don't know what Las Vegas people know. Like, oh God, the grass is dehydrated, like we talked about last week. Is there a cold front moving in we don't know about?
There is.
That contributes to the Broncos playing better as well.
I don't know why that would jump that many points. But I think you said Josh Allen won his first playoff game, but he beat the Broncos last year. Remember?
No, I don't recall that.
You don't recall that?
I do, because I'd rather this just be a revenge tour for being a dick.
It's all good. Back on the revenge tour tip. Beat the Bills. They fucking smoked the Broncos in their first playoff appearance in like 10 years, and got to beat them. Then the Pats. It's always nice to beat the Pats. And then Seahawks or the 49ers. It's all coming together.
I did want to ask you,
yep.
At the end of today, at next week's game, when we hopefully beat the Bills. And look, I'm under no misnomer. I love my Broncos glasses always half full. But hey, they got the number 1 seed, and I'll be happy that they got there. But I do want my eye on the prize. But who would you like to play in the AFC playoff?
In the AFC Championship?
Yeah, in the AFC Championship. Who would you like to see?
The Patriots. Yes. I don't want them to play the Texans, because I think that defense is gonna befuddle Bo Nix a little bit. But just purely for just for the old time's sake,
for the vibes.
Yeah, I think we should get the Patriots in there and beat them. I think that'll be fantastic. Just to let the Pats fans know, hey, you're not back yet, fellas. You thought you were back. You had like a 6-year break. You won all these Super Bowls, and then all of a sudden you're like, ooh, we're bad for 6 years. Ooh, terrible. Ooh, now we're good again. It's like, nope, you're not good again yet. You're gonna have to earn it, baby. So I'll take the Pats. I'll take the Pats in there.
I would love the revival of a Broncos quarterback, New England quarterback rival, like Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady. Drake May, Bo Nix. I mean, I don't know. I kind of like it.
Well, we're definitely going to cover that there's at least one more show, at least one more, but there might be more after that. So we hope there's 3 more shows, right? We want 3 more shows, but maybe 4, if you will. but we at least got one more show, and we'll cover that. We'll cover that next week if all things go well. I'm thinking it's going to be now. Like I said, I unfortunately bet that under when it was really low. I don't know why I did that, but again, not the smartest gambler. Really, not the smartest here. The bets I made on the Bears probably not the smartest, but they'd end up turning out. So, if you're listening to the audio, I'm pointing to myself, not the smartest gambler, right here. I bet the Broncos to cover that 1 point. I think they're going to win. I think it's going to be one of those games where they're just going to grind it out. They're going to have to keep him out of the end zone. They're going to have to keep him from running. That's a big thing, and they're good at that. They're good at keeping the running quarterbacks from getting loose. So if they can do that, the Bills don't have the greatest receivers. They've got a really good running back. So I think if they can keep it contained at the line, I think they're going to be good. But again, it's going to be like, I don't know, like a 17-13 game. You know what I mean? Like it has to be in that realm. I mean, if it's going to, there's no way you're going to hold Josh Allen to like, under 10 points. I just don't think it's possible because you've seen him do it a bunch of times. He'd play kind of crappy, or the team would play crappy. They'd be down, and then near the end of the game, he'd just start heating up, and he'd come back. So I think that's what we're looking at, and I think really that's going to be one of the only ways that they can win.
No, I agree, and you got to look at the Bills lead the AFC in yards after catch, right? And so, however, the Broncos also have the lowest missed tackle rate at 4.2% of any playoff team. So it's an unsexy stat. You can try and do a little slant play, but you may not get the results that you've gotten from other teams. And I think, we've watched Sean Payton, and I know you love Sean Payton to the world's end. And he doesn't win sexy, right? He doesn't win like John Fox. He controls the clock. He controls his timeouts, and he's very perceptive about, hey, you know what? I'm going to score before the half. I get the ball back, and I'm going to double up and score again. And that's worked throughout the season. Is it going to work in this case? Don't know. But it's a game plan. And I do believe, I don't think the Broncos have showed, like we talked about last week, what cards. I'm sure they've got cards. Everybody's got a card. There's a trick play in there that's going to blow our mind. I'm sure of it.
Oh, they're not very good at trick plays. Let's not encourage that, please.
Count it.
I was going to say, I don't know if you remember the story when we were at the casino where our old buddy took care of us. He said he got some sweet tickets to the Broncos game when they played the Raiders in Vegas. Do you remember the story?
Yes.
And I just want to bring up everyone who is honking on the peeners all the time. My friend is, he's from Vegas now. He's been there forever. His son is a Broncos fan. He's bringing his son up right and took him to the Broncos game, and they got these sweet seats, like club, like top, not even club level, like ultra club level. And next to them were the Peeners and Condoleezza Rice, and they were sitting right next to him, just like a divider between them, right? So. Yeah. And I think people are trying to talk to him, and there's somebody going, hey, leave him alone. I get that. Condoleezza Rice doesn't want to get reminded of some stuff she's done in the past. So he said that, his son thanked the Peeners for getting a good team again, and they kind of blew him off. And I thought, look, if you're going to thank these rich fucks for you're going to go, thank you, Peeners. Thank you for blessing us with a great team again. You at least acknowledge the kid. You just go, hey, yeah, right on, man. Give him a thumbs up. You don't have to shake his hand. You don't have to talk to him further. You can just walk the hell out. But you should acknowledge him. But according to this, they were kind of like, oh, yeah, and then just kind of left. Hey, if that's how the Peeners are going to play it, then I think I'm on the right track as far as my attitude towards them.
I will say that I contributed to the Peener bottom line today by ordering $175 from Walmart Plus, and I support our new overlords with our new stadium that they are fully funding, and they are giving the team what they want to win. I agree with you 100%. You hear that story and you're like, that's not the story you want to hear.
No.
I want you to be like, I want to hug that kid. Hey, I am all in on this team.
If he said he came over and high-fived my son, I'd have been like, wow, holy shit. Maybe they're not so bad. But guess what? They are bad, and they suck.
Maybe they didn't hear him. I don't know.
He's wearing a Bo Nix jersey. I saw the picture of him. He said, here's a picture of us at the game, and his son's got a Bo Nix jersey on.
I turned a blind eye because I was enjoying the turnip cake.
Anyway, that's my weekly peanut rant. A little
I do feel like when we get to season 2, when we turn this more into a morning show, I'm going to find a nice, bridging strategy for big peener energy.
Do it. You got to bridge.
I do feel like that's a moniker of the show. You came up with it. I want to roll into it, especially over the next 4 seasons until that new stadium's built, and it's just a giant horse cock.
I don't know if I came up with that, but whatever. I mean, I did come up with the peeners. I think people are afraid to use peener when they describe them, because I think just like all these assholes who think like they're the next billionaire, so they support all these rich guys. They think I'm the peeners will shine on me next. They'll shine on me. So I'm not going to call them peeners like that asshole. So I'm just going to call them the penners, and they will favor me. Well, guess what? This fucking teenage kid was like, "Thank you so much," and they're like, "Whatever, teenage kid. See ya." So,
not to digress, but did you ever see the movie Thor: Love and Thunder?
Of course.
Okay, so you remember that scene with Christian Bale, and he's sitting there and he's like, worship this God for years, even though there's drought and there's famine and all this. And he goes to the God and he finds him in Eden, and he's like sitting there eating all this fruit, and he's like, look at this poor schlep, thinking there's something for him at the end. Yeah, I mean, it does feel like that sometimes, but hey, if I get a good Broncos team right now, I'm willing to.
everyone's willing to accept a lot of shit these days, as long as you get something good out of it.
Hey, look, it's been 10 years of shit for us, right? Like, it has sucked when we have lived in the land of milk and honey.
That's true.
And now that we have owners that seem to be vested, I miss Pat Bowlen. God bless that man. He was something else when it came to ownership, and it's still a fucking shitty shame that he got inducted after fucking Jerry Jones.
Oh,
I will hate the NFL for that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's terrible. Jerry Jones, Pat Bowlen did way more for the NFL than Jerry Jones will ever do. So another thing that you've probably seen is you're familiar with the actress Haley Steinfeld, right? You know who Haley Steinfeld is?
I know the name. I do not know for which she is famous for.
She's famous for a few things, but one thing is she's married to Josh Allen.
Yes.
Do you know about this? Okay. So she's been in tons of stuff. Most recently, the movie Sinners. Have you seen Sinners? Okay, no. Sinners, great movie. Vampire movie with Michael B. Jordan. Very good stuff. She was in stuff as a child. She was in True Grit. So good actress, married to Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. Well, photo surfaces this past week of her at the last Broncos Super Bowl in Santa Clara, and she's got a Broncos jacket on, and she's dabbing after the Broncos won. Okay, which is fantastic. It's great. And I was like, hell yeah! I go, she's got a big choice to make this weekend. I hope she chooses right. So I looked into it because I thought, oh, is she from here? Is she Colorado native or something? What's going on? Born and raised in California, and so I was like, well, that's a lot. I don't know. Maybe she's got like a relative or something. Someone asked Josh Allen about it, and they said, and he goes, I don't know anything about it. He goes, she was probably paid to be there, and I was like, what the fuck? And then, so if you look at it, it's a real nice satin orange Broncos starter jacket, okay? And apparently in all the photos she did, she was tagging Starter. So I don't know if Starter paid her to be there. They said, here's some tickets, wear some gear. But, like, why wouldn't she – but you'd think, like, like, why was it the Broncos? I guess you don't have the Panthers. They probably said, do you want to wear the Panthers or the Broncos? And she was probably like, well, I'll wear the Broncos. The Broncos stuff for sure. So I don't know the truth, but we all want to believe that she's a Broncos fan, and obviously she has to root for her husband this weekend. But we're hoping that once the Broncos win, she gets back on the Broncos train.
I remember talking to you about this offline back in the days of the Broncos Booze Cast.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember this, but I was approached by a company for a sponsorship for the Denver Broncos, and they were going to give me a phone, an iPhone, a signed Denver Bronco football by Von Miller, and they wanted me to do a couple posts, right? It wasn't a whole lot. I mean, it's by today's social media standards, it was very minimal. And I remember asking you, because I'm like, John, I'm torn. Like, where does the line cross from being a fan to being a shill? Do you remember this at all?
Vaguely.
We were not as close as we are now, but it was like I was looking to you for guidance because I'm like, this guy's the podcast god. Him and Colin got the #1 show on the internet.
Maybe you did too much damage to your brain in Vegas that you've now stated.
No, back in the day, I literally felt that way about you guys. It was the internet was a sparse place, and the South Stands Denver Fancast was like, I remember the first podcast that was like, this is not only funny, it's entertaining, it's edutainment, I guess you would call it, for fans. And you had some great guests on that exposed me to other people that I enjoyed on back in the day. But to go back to the thing, it was like, hey, if you feel like you're not selling out your soul, I'm paraphrasing because this was 10 years ago, then you should do it. But if you feel like you're compromising your values for your team, then don't. And I was like, I always thought that was good advice. I'm like, yeah,
I said this,
something to that extent.
Okay.
I always felt good about it because it was like, no, those are good guidelines. Like, I will sell myself out to promote the team that I love. Up to
I was just saying, what's wrong with that? You're like, hey, I love the Broncos, and fucking, and then you show a football or whatever, there's nothing wrong with it. That shit goes on all the time. I mean, that goes on way more than you know. They were give you
when it gets personal, though, right? It's like, oh, this guy's kind of a dipshit, but I need you to hype this one guy up, and I'm like, that's no.
So that's where it gets tricky. Now, if they gave Haley a Broncos jacket and said, here's some fucking great seats to the Super Bowl, you just got to wear this Broncos jacket and take some photos, she's probably like, cool, man, whatever. She probably paid her too, I mean, she was famous then too. I mean, that was a long time ago, but I think she had done I don't know if she'd done Marvel stuff. She's been in some Marvel stuff too, but
has she?
Yeah, she's Jeremy Renner plays Hawkeye. She is the protege. She's
okay. I know who you're talking about.
I can't think of the character.
She was in the Christmas Hawkeye.
Yes. She was in the other one too, but she's been in that and as well as some other things. All good. You know what? I hope she's a Broncos fan, and I hope she gets back to it. I hope she she realizes and comes back for the love of the team and doesn't get paid after the Broncos win. But yes, that does sound like something I'd say, where I'd be like, hey, if you're not compromising yourself at all, if it's just like, hey, fucking look at this iPhone I got, whatever. It's like, I don't know, but most people can see through that and go, okay, he's obviously promoting this. It's not a big deal. As long as it's not gross and over the top, I think it's okay. So
I think if the captain was invited to, let's just say, a Seahawks, I don't know, another Super Bowl with teams that I didn't like, and they're like, hey, your podcast is awesome, John and Scott. We would like to invite you to the Super Bowl, and you wear the opposing team's jerseys, jackets, whatever they are. I'd be like, absolutely. As long as I get to wear a nameplate around my neck that says I was paid for this.
Okay. Well, you wouldn't get to wear that, but what team would you be okay with wearing it? Okay, let's say it's God forbid it's not the Broncos. let's say it's the 49ers and the Patriots.
I couldn't do it.
And they say, John and Scott, here we're gonna send you to the Super Bowl. We're gonna put you up. We're gonna give you some walking around money. Scott, you got to wear the Patriots gear, and John, you got to wear the 49ers gear. No. Would you wear the 49ers gear?
No. I couldn't do it. It's funny you say this because I thought about this the other day when I was walking the dog, and I was like, hey, you know, if I had to redo life, and I played sports and I loved football, and I did, you know, in 8th grade, and it was a terrible offensive lineman. But, you know, if I was God's grace, I was a kicker, right? I would defer to the Broncos. I would just be like, that's all the team I want to play for. That's it. They're like, Scott, we're going to trade you. I'm like, pay me $1. That's all I want. I just want to wear the gear. I have such a love for the fan base and the culture. I couldn't do it, John.
Well, let me put it to this way. When I used to
$2 billion, now we're talking.
Let's say there's some money involved. But first, I used to run a little magazine years and years and years ago.
The Hooligans.
Yep, that's it. Yep, and I used to make fun of Pepsi commercials, because Pepsi commercials in TV and radio are some of the worst advertising you'll ever hear. Because I used to listen to the Avalanche games on the radio, and it was always Pepsi, right? Because it was Pepsi Center, so Pepsi sponsored it, and they're the worst fucking ads ever. And I used to say all the time, I was like, Pepsi, these commercials suck. They're so bad. But if Pepsi wanted to give me money, I would take their money, as long as they were prepared for me to keep ripping on Pepsi. And if they're cool with it, then I will take their money, because who's the dummy here? Because there's a Pepsi ad, and then the page before it, I'm going, Pepsi ads fucking suck. They're terrible. They're written by morons. So that's, I think, if they said, John, you got to wear a Patriots jersey, as long as I could openly state the whole time that I'm doing this for money and I'm shameless, and it's nothing but a cash grab, I think I'm good with it. I think I'm
This
good.
goes back to my sign thing that I said earlier. As long as I can wear the sign that says, I sold my soul to the devil, I will do what you ask. Because everybody knows I did it for the Benjamins. That's
right. So Pepsi or Starter or any of those things, if you want 2 whores to go to the Super Bowl, we're your horse.
I will change the name of the podcast from the Broncos Booze Up to whatever you want for a single episode. If you're willing to sponsor us for the cost of the, I would just say the hosting of the website and the podcast for a year.
Let's hold out for a little more than that, but a little bit more. So. Good stuff. So let's wrap it up. We're going to do a quick show because there's not much next week. If they've won and we're moving on, we can do all sorts of other things.
Did you say fucking if?
Hey, the future's not written, right? The future is.
This is where I'm telling you right now. I'm going to edit into the podcast Bluto Blutowski's. You know,
was it over?
It's not over. It's not over,
Japanese bomb when Germans bomb I almost got it right. I almost said Japanese. Hey, I want them to win, and this is my thing. I'm gonna go on a record. I'm gonna say I think they win. I think it's gonna be real close. It could be that point. They could win like a 17-16 game. It's gonna be like that, and I don't think it's gonna be a freewheeling game. If it is a freewheeling game, then it's going to be Bo Nix throwing the ball a lot and scoring some points. That could happen. Buffalo's not got a fantastic defense. I think like the Pats and the Texans have better defenses than Buffalo does. But just the main hunch that I'm looking at, I think it's going to be low scoring. Broncos eke it out.
It's going to be we called an episode this very early in the season. They are called the Cardiac Kids. And I do think it's going to be like that for the rest of the playoffs for us. It is going to go down to the wire. And it's not going to be fun. It's going to be ugly. But I'm going to tell you, the end result is Colin Daniels drinking 3 ounces of fermented Colin.
Hot piss.
Hot Colin. Yeah.
Hot piss down the throat. So yes, I agree. I hope that happens. I want that to happen. I'm just going through different scenarios in my mind. Right when you said cardiac kids, I thought, oh, Buffalo jumps out to a big lead. Broncos carve back into it. That could happen too.
But it's happened this season.
Any one of these things is going to happen. So it's really hard to tell based on this season, because what we know from this season is they would get down and they would come back, or it would be some weird rally in the fourth, and they would come back to win it. All things are possible in the shining light of Bo Nix.
As we've said, there's going to be crazy officiating. There's going to be things we like, things we don't like. Nothing is sure until that last second drops.
But let's hope actress Haley Steinfeld will be back in the fold. We want her to come back in and wear her Broncos gear once again. So
I am now going to do a whole Google Gemini on Haley Steinfeld and the Denver Broncos and finding out that relationship. So when we do post the winning episode, I've got tons of stats and facts that Grok hasn't undressed her for.
That's right. Don't do it through Grok. It might violate some terms of service. Or just some more.
Oh, Elon's got total good terms of service. Let me tell you.
Also, Josh Allen went to Wyoming, which is a reason to dislike him right there.
Yep.
And when they inducted him into their Hall of Fame or whatever the hell they did, he took time out to say, it sucks to be a CSU Ram, which is like their thing, I guess they say. Yeah. And he went out of his way to say that as pro Josh Allen just a little while ago. So Josh. Listen, I like the Bills. If the Broncos weren't in it, I'd be rooting for the Bills. Because I want the Bills fans to get a Super Bowl finally. But for that, Josh, I'm going to have to root against you this weekend. And
GFY, buddy, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So hey, let's reconvene next week, and hopefully we can be talking about AFC Championship game. Hopefully we can get to that.
We shall, and hopefully we're talking about your hockey league championship league.
Well, that's got a few weeks, but let's try to make it through tonight first. This late game, but it is a long slog, and then when I get home, I'm kind of wired, and then I'm like, should I drink whiskey to fall asleep, or should I just try to fall asleep? It's quite a catch-22. So
I found whiskey to be better than melatonin.
Whiskey's better than melatonin?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, I agree. Although the only whiskey I have is I've got a really nice Stranahan's whiskey, and you need something a little cheaper to pound yourself to sleep, I think.
Pound yourself to sleep, John. End it on that note.
That's right. So let me cue up the music. Yes. And folks, we're going to get back at it next week. I'm thinking we're going to be talking victory next week. I think it's happening. As long as Sean Payton gets his head out of his ass, and Vance Joseph too. He needs to get his head out of his ass. And the Keeners need to get their head. Everyone needs to get their head out of their ass. So, yeah. Yay! So, until next time, for me and the captain, this has been the Broncos Booze Up. Adios.